Paulie, what's the NFL news?
We're going to play the Guess the NFL News game.
Okay.
I would say it's major.
Major NFL news
Who
game.
would like to go first?
Todd, you want to go first?
The Jets are reshuffling their coaching staff again.
Okay. Seton, you want to play?
No, I don't. Yeah. The Lions have traded for.
Okay. Okay. All right. Marvin?
Something with Davante Adams.
Marvin is correct.
Davante Adams has been traded.
Davante Adams has been traded to
The Steelers.
the New York Jets.
Whoa!
According to Ian Rappaport, the Jets gave up a 4th-round pick that could be a 2nd-round pick based on performance. Latest, 1 minute ago, the deal is agreed to, according to Ian Rappaport.
Okay.
It's again, he's updating it as we speak. A conditional 3rd-round pick goes to the Raiders that become a 2nd-round pick. Ian Rappaport says that Davante Adams is on his way to the Jets
Okay.
immediately.
All right. And he'll be in action against Pittsburgh, another team that was trying to get him, coming up on Sunday night. All right. I hope Davante Adams is worth all of this, because if not, then you start to look at the bigger picture here with him and Rodgers moving into next season. Like the highs could be unbelievable. But if they go low and it doesn't work out, then all of a sudden you're going to be like, all right, we fired our coach. We brought in your favorite wide receiver. Maybe it's you. Yeah, Seton.
It's funny. He's going from a 2-4 team to a 2-4 team. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Marvin.
If you're the Jets going into next season, do you make a big splash at head coach?
Well, once again, is this an attractive job? I got to see how they play the rest of the season, because you still have that owner. I got Rodgers, who's 41, turning 41. He hasn't shown that. I mean, he looked good last night. He just doesn't look like a Hall of Famer. And, maybe we have to lower our expectations there. But I don't know if this is an attractive job. It's like Jacksonville. I don't think it's an attractive job when it's open because of Trevor Lawrence. He's regressed. I got to make sure that I have that franchise quarterback. If let's say you're Belichick, let's say you're Vrabel. Are you going to go into a situation where you're kind of going to have a lame duck quarterback, maybe playing for one more year? I wouldn't want that. A conditional 3rd-round pick going to the Raiders that can become a 2nd-rounder based on performance by Davante Adams, first reported by Ian Rappaport, as Davante Adams is headed to the Jets. I was told all along that the best they were going to get is a 2nd-round pick. It's a conditional 3rd that could be a 2nd for Davante Adams. And I don't know if last night's result changed anything with their approach or aggressiveness in trying to get him, because it doesn't sound like you're giving up an awful lot for Davante Adams. I know that the Raiders were holding out more compensation. Also, they weren't going to pay any of his salary. So just some of the background information here with Davante Adams, at least, the tug of war of who was going to get him, what did you have to give up, what were the Raiders willing to take in return. So conditional pick, and he'll be headed to New York and be in uniform Sunday night when the Jets play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Yes, Paul?
We have a bit more. According to Diana Rossini of The Athletic, Davante Adams is in the Jets building as we speak.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
That was quick.
Flying commercial.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Probably not.
Well, that would whatever.
Indicate that maybe he was there last night?
Or this was pending last night and it's just announced today.
Well, I don't think he was going to be playing again for the Raiders, so it's not like they were going, anybody seen Davante?
I bet that hamstring's all better.
Oh, I'm sure. Somehow. That's why when somebody says, well, he's got to get that hamstring ready, I go, I think it's probably ready. Probably going to be a lot readier when he gets to New York.
Feels a lot better, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
I got out of Vegas, that dry heat. I'm feeling a lot better. Hammy's feeling a lot better. I got Aaron throwing it to me. I feel a lot better than Aiden or Gardner Minshew. Yes, Seton.
If you're Davante Adams, do you just rent a house? Do you just stay in a hotel?
I stay with Rodgers.
Do you I mean, you're not going to buy a place
No.
for the next couple of months,
No,
right?
no.
So do you just like jump into a hotel?
I just say to Aaron, let me crash your crib. I mean, that's probably what I would start, or at least I would ask. That should have been part of the negotiation. You know,
I get to stay with
I get to stay with Aaron. Yes, Mark.
I know he's got a wife and kids. Do you just tell them, hey, just start
Why don't you
packing
guys
up?
stay?
Or you guys just stay in
Take
Vegas?
your time.
Yep.
Take your
I'm going to
time.
go to the city.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Aaron's got a baller place in Jersey too.
I would expect that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sick.
Yeah.
I checked it.
Super sick.
It's got a guest bedroom. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, so
Yeah.
enough room.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be buying anything.
Nah.
Nah, you don't need to. There are guys who they haven't been in certain cities for a long time and they still have houses. And usually what you try to do is when you leave a city, you go, hey, the new quarterback's coming in. You want to stay at my place in Green Bay. You know, trying to offload some of these houses there. But Davante Adams is going to the Jets. What's his salary?
This year, Davante Adams will make, I have him just under $12 million, and the Raiders will probably have paid a third of that. So the Jets would pick up about $8 million, at least on paper. There's an out after this year if the Jets did not want to keep him. But if they kept him, they owe him $35 million next year, $35 million the year after.
Ooh. He's not a $35 million a year guy.
45 million.
No, he's not. No.
Just ask him.
He's not. He's not in that category anymore. Yes, Eaton.
What are we doing with Max Crosby?
He's untouchable.
What are we doing? No, he needs to be freed.
Well, that's if I'm the Lions, I go, we will give you a first and second round pick right now. Today.
Yeah.
That's it. First, second round pick for Max Crosby.
And if you're Max Crosby, you're calling the Raiders and saying, do me a favor, please pick up the phone. So anybody calls for me, just do me a favor and answer.
Did he play college in Michigan? Did he Eastern Michigan?
Eastern Michigan Eagles, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Michigan. Question mark? Yeah, Paul?
Yeah, Eastern Michigan, EMU. Is this kind of like the Jalen Ramsey trade with the Rams years ago? Like he's available, best guy in the market. Don't worry about the price and the draft 2 years from now. If you're the Lions,
Well, they famously said bleep draft picks. You know, that Sean McVay was like, no, we don't need them. We want to win a Super Bowl. And I think your fan base is fine with that. Like if you say, all right, we're going to get a Super Bowl out of this. But if I'm a Lions fan, you want a first, second round pick? Go. We want to bring Max Crosby in. Because then all of a sudden, you've got everybody's attention. Because, you know, as a fan base, you just want your team to do something. Like the Cowboys, do something. The Lions, can you do something? At least try to do something. The Jets, they fired their coach. They have a new signal caller, and now you bring in Davante Adams. So I at least I applaud you. You're trying. I wouldn't have fired Robert Saleh. I wouldn't. I don't think he was the problem. I don't think he was a head coach, but I wouldn't have fired him. I mean, it's almost unprecedented. You fire somebody after 5 games. And I would have kept him in, and I would have demoted Nathaniel Hackett. And then I would have traded for Davante Adams. So, I don't know. Can they do anything else? I think they're good. Now you're ready to go. You should be ready to go. 2 good running backs. You got 2 really good wide receivers. Now it's Aaron Rodgers. Defense plays like they're supposed to be. If they're a top 10, top 5 defense, you should be really, really good. Yes, Eden.
But like Robert Saleh, he was 20-36 with the team.
Yeah.
You kind of saw what you saw from him.
I wouldn't have brought him back this year.
Yeah. You would have fired him. It's not that you wouldn't have fired him, right? You would have fired him earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're making the commitment to him, then make the commitment to him. And, you know, after 5 games, you're like, oh, we've seen enough. Okay. I wouldn't have brought him back. If he was on that short of a leash, I wouldn't have brought him back. But I think they were trying to say, hey, let's give him a full season with Aaron Rodgers and see what he can do. I just never thought he was a head coach. He didn't act like a head coach.